I am your host, Leah Dunlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance.
Hey everyone, it's Coach Leah Dunlap, the Oracle on Purpose, and I'm here because I wonder if you get bored with something you've done over and over again. And when someone asks you to do it again, you just feel like you just couldn't do it one more time, right? There's that one thing that you've done so often, it's become by rote. So here's the secret. Boring builds success in business. Boring builds success. And I'll tell you why. Have you ever gone to a concert and during the concert, it might be your favorite band or a new band, but even still, you go to the concert and sure enough, even though maybe the band is putting out a new album, there's always a large group in the crowd that wants the good old songs, the oldies but goodies, right? They're chanting for them, they're cheering them on. Why? Why are we so in love with the oldies, right? The things we know and try, and the tried and true of who we are and what we believe in. Well, part of that is, as humans, we like consistency. And if you doubt that, just imagine right now that we were to roll back the time and get back to, let's say, November of 2019 or December or even January, where things were kind of running by rote in our lives until they weren't anymore. And everyone was pining for the good old days, right? There is something about that consistency that as human beings, we kind of get comfortable with. And we like to have that. That's a security for us. So here's the trick. In business, as entrepreneurs, and especially as creators, we feel like we always have to create something new. Like there's an itch in us to build or create or grow. So if that's you, don't feel bad and recognize that part of what helps create long-term success for any business is just that. It's the boring stuff. And by boring, I mean it's the things that are tried and true. The things that you know that you can share over and over and over again. And for you, they might seem boring. Right. So raise your hand if that's ever happened to you and you're an entrepreneur and you feel like you're always searching for that next thing to create. I came upon this myself. I took a break from a program that I've been running for years. Literally, I started in 1994, so a couple of years. And I could show up, right, and do that program, run that group by rote. Like I had done it so often. It was like I could just keep bringing more people in and just keep saying it over and over again. And at one point, I felt like, oh, I need something new. I need a new challenge. And I let it go. But here's the thing. I realized that even in the business that as I changed it and I started working more with one-on-one clients, those core tenets, right? Those boring things I always said over and over and over again, I still needed to say them because they were still part of the work that I do. And they were still getting people results, right? Because they were tried and true. So that's what I mean. Boring builds success. So look around and think for yourself, is there something that you've got that to you seems like you could do it by rote, right? That thing that just comes naturally to you. And so whenever somebody asks about it, you are instantly there. You're able to talk to them about it. Hey, thanks for watching. We're talking about that thing that you do as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, that to you just feels like old hat. You've done it before, you can do it again, you can do it with your eyes closed. Like these are all those things that you realize, wait a minute, the reason that they are being called from you is because they work. And you know they work. They are tried and true. And the trap is when we think we have to constantly be doing something different or new or innovative, and we lose sight of the core of what we have to offer. And that moment when you start to understand that what those parts of your work are that might seem boring to you are revolutionary to other people, right? For whatever reason. Now, here's the thing I think is interesting. I was talking to a client, we're working on some projects with her. And, she got to a point where she was saying, well, like, the things I'm saying, other people have said. Sound familiar? So who's going to listen to me? I said, the people need to hear it from you, right? There's a certain vibration, a certain language you and only you speak that shares that message in your own unique way. And that the people that need to hear it from you can hear it. And even though the information may be boring to you because you know it by heart, doesn't mean that someone new coming to it won't be able to see and achieve results based on that new knowledge, right? So just because the information has been said or done or created before doesn't mean that someone new coming to the information won't receive results, right? It's the trick in your mind that says that you have to recreate it. You have to, make it more spicy. And it's interesting to me because I too have fallen prey to that. I thought that I had to recreate all these things. And what's beautiful about it is I've come home, if you will, back to understanding that the beauty of the core of the message, those core tenets I teach, they've stood the test of time, right? I've continued to share them since 1994 because there are still people who haven't put them together in that same way yet. And when they do, I know, I'm 110% confident that they will absolutely get results. So when we think about it and we feel like what we know, or let's say I gotta get a sip of water. I'm so excited. So what we know, or the knowledge that we've, crafted together to create a system, just because other people have parts of that knowledge, or perhaps in your own mind, it feels like common knowledge, doesn't mean that's true for everyone that you interact with. And chances are the flavor, if you will, that you put on it, the way you speak to a subject draws your person in, right? So only the person who needs to hear it from you, through you, will hear it. And to them, that knowledge is invaluable, right? That knowledge is the one thing they need to continue to move forward. And so when we do these things and we get ourselves stuck in our mind that they are, that process is by rote, and so then it feels quote unquote boring to us, it really means that if it's been serving your people and it's been serving you for years, it's solid. So the first step is just to know. The truth of the matter is that boring builds success. So look around at what you're doing now. Look at the things that, like I said, you can do by rote. It's simple to you. It makes perfect sense to you. Have you ever had that experience where you show up to something and everybody's frustrated and, they're trying to figure something out, and you look at it and you're like, oh, it's perfect. It's easy. It's simple. That's an indicator. That's your boring stuff, right? And what's boring to you is something of value to someone else. You see, that's the connection with the success piece. So the connection between the boring and the success is that what is boring to you could be revolutionary to someone else, right? So how do you find those things that you are capable of delivering to your clients, your customers, right? That time and time and time again will get results. And those are the things that you should, if you're looking to be successful, that you should take and put your energy and your effort in promoting and sharing and bringing to market, if you will. Those are the things that will actually help you find that flow, that fulfillment, that ease. And it is just a trick of the mind that says that you have to change things up every quarter or every year or what have you. And when you do that, that's when you can find yourself chasing the overwhelm bunny, right? Not the Energizer bunny, but the Overwhelm bunny, like down the rabbit hole and down the rabbit hole again, and still finding yourself in this state of searching to find what you already have and what already works. Now, this isn't to say that you can't take a new spin at it. Like you can't add energy to the thing. It's that you don't have to recreate it, right? If it's truly a core function or pillar of your business, and it's something that you know, like I said, that it's always going to work. If you put it in place, it's going to get that desired result. That's great. If you happen to be someone like me or others who are very creative and you're wanting to add or change or shift or, move, have that movement and that flow, it can be in how you deliver it. It can be in how you engage the people that you're working with. But the tenets, right? The core fundamentals of what you are sharing, they get to stay the same. And rather than seeing that as a detriment to your business, what if you took the time to see it as really foundational pieces that keep your business strong and keep your business growing? Because you can always count on them to get results. Because ultimately, no matter what you do, whether you're a coach or a real estate agent or a business leader or an entrepreneur who's got a startup, even in all of that, your genius, right? Your work product, whatever you've created and built and know and can share, whatever you're teaching, right? Or sharing, that is the good stuff. That's the stuff that you want to keep, and you want to keep sharing it because there are new people all the time coming into your sphere, right? We talk a lot about visibility. I talk all the time about that, how to get more visible, how to talk and share your message. And it can feel like if you're sharing that message over and over again for yourself, you sound like you're on a repeat. But the great thing is that most people, here's another tidbit. Most people can only hold 7 bits. Let me say this correctly. 7 bits of information at a time. Now, you and I have both been on the internet. I know that because you're here. So that's not a lot of information. And so we are constantly filtering and recycling information, and not everything that comes in sticks. So it is absolutely okay to continue to repeat that core knowledge because someone needs it. And when they hear it from you, maybe for the first, third, 15th time, it suddenly lands and they get what you're hoping to give them, which is that knowledge. So I just want to encourage you and, remind you that the reason I thought of this, the reason that like my mind was like, this is a piece of being an entrepreneur that a lot of people struggle with, is like that idea to always chase down the newest, greatest, latest. And my core hope with my clients is to remove overwhelm, which that is like a total trapped overwhelm. And one of the ways that I've done it myself recently is by looking at what I have to offer my clients and say, what are those core things that I know will get results? And let's put those at the forefront. And so I'm really excited because in October, I've been talking a little bit about this, but in October, I'm launching the Purpose and Prosperity Accelerator Program. It's a mastermind. It will be a small group of people. So it's somewhat invitation only in the sense that you need to be able to be in a space where you can commit to the program fully for 90 days. And what I'm bringing back into that table, to that container, are those core fundamental qualities of the power plan that I shared in 1994 and up from that point. And with that, we've added in some deep dives. So we have a full VIP day that we're going to do. So we'll have an entire mastermind day to start us off. And then we will have that consistency of showing up and having accountability on a weekly basis. I'll be also bringing back into that fold the opportunity to receive channeling from me on your specific purposeful goals and also business adventures. So it's a really great container, but at the core of it are those fundamentals of the power plan, right? They get to hold the container together. They are the foundational pieces we'll be using to really move people forward in helping them to accelerate their purpose and prosperity and their manifestation. So that's why I'm so excited about this. Not just because we get to have that container, but because I know that people get frustrated when they start chasing down all these, new things that they can do, bells, whistles, etc. And when I sit with them and we talk about what they have to offer, some of what they know isn't getting through because they feel like, oh, I already know that, or that's really simple, or everybody knows that. I have to remind them, like, no, that's not necessarily true. And just because the information is out there doesn't mean that the person coming to look for it from you has it. So if you want to be delivering and you want to build consistency, then yeah, you're going to have to do the boring stuff. And so hopefully the boring stuff, when you look at it, really you can learn to appreciate the value of having something to offer people that gives them structure, that gives them perhaps a new perspective on an old idea, a new way, a new opportunity, and maybe even just a new voice to hear the message. Because I absolutely know that when people go through the steps of the power plan, they get results. And the steps are simple. And they're included in this program on purpose because I want people to have that structure. I have one client that has been using these tools since 2009. And I checked in with her the other day and she said, I still use them today. And I'm so happy that I can pull them out and use them whenever I want to. And I can create amazing things. And she has created some amazing things in her life. So if you're interested in that, put purpose and prosperity below. And if you want more information, I'll get that out to you. But for now, just remember that if you are really serious about having long-term success, then it might be time to do the boring thing that you feel everyone else already knows about. All right. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great day. I'm Leah Dunlap, the Oracle on Purpose. Remember, you are here on purpose.